not a babysitter. Hey, howdy, hey, Trainwreck, how are you today? I am the glorious Trainwreck Mom. If this is your first time here, welcome aboard Trainwreck. This channel's here to serve as a safe space for all Trainwrecks, except here we don't give you a puppy and a latte, we give you sarcasm and humor. I just got back from a training at work. I am at a preschool, and it is 8:16 at night. I go in at 7:45. You do the math. 7:45 in the morning, by the way, in case you were trying to be a smart aleck. I'm tired. I'm crabby. I'm curmudgeon-y. And I got called a babysitter today. Are you kidding me? No. No. And I am speaking for all preschool teachers out there. We are not babysitters. Oh no. I have worked in childcare for 20 years. I've literally done this all my adult life. I started when I was 19 years old. Okay? I have done more first aid and CPR trainings than I care to even think about. I have seen more creepy silver mannequins that you put the fake mouths on, which make great Halloween props, by the way. They're amazing for floating in the water. Trips people out every time. But still, that's besides the point. I am not a babysitter. I have the same amount of education, if not more, than some educators that are in the public school system. For my job, just going on the bare minimum, for my job, I had to have either an associate's with 10 years experience or a bachelor's degree in education. Are you kidding? I work at a preschool. In my group, I work with 3 and 4-year-old kids. Some of them need help with potty training still. I teach them their alphabet. I teach them how to write, how to recognize their own name, how to count. I teach them what their parents' names are, what to do in an emergency. I am not a babysitter. I'll tell you what though, I'd love to be a babysitter. $10 an hour, and I'm not required to have first aid, CPR, 12 continuing education state credits. That's just the bare minimum. For my job, every year I am required 40 credit hours of training. 40. On President's Day in February, I am in work for over 6 hours just training. Are you kidding? And someone had the nerve to call me a babysitter today. I don't think so. First of all, babysitter would never get paid what I get paid. Straight up. No babysitter in their right mind would make $10.24 an hour and have 20 kids in a room and be expected to provide breakfast, lunch, and snack. The rules change on a regular basis. Some of the requests, because you're not just dealing with the kids, you're also dealing with their parents. So not only do I have 20 kids that are set in my room, but I've got their 40 parents as well. On top of that, sometimes when we're low on kids, we get kids from other classes, so I get them too. And I know their parents, and I know their lives, and I know what's going on at home, and I know what's going on with their brothers and their sisters and their aunts. I know what's going on in these kids' lives. I am not a babysitter. I'm required to know safety, health. It's ridiculous. The infant room where I work has so many rules and regulations just on how the infants are supposed to sleep, because they're so worried about SIDS. And don't get me wrong, I work at a corporate place, so you know CYA is a corporate policy, but this is not corporate at all. This is these people busting their butts day in, day out to provide an education and a safe place for these kids, and to get called a babysitter. You gotta be kidding me. If people knew on a regular basis what's required of preschool teachers, they might be a little bit more willing to pay a little bit more than they pay to park their cars a day. That's right, kids. If you do the math, you go out there and you look, there are people who pay parking attendants. They make more money than average preschool teachers do. What's that say? Where are the priorities here? It's not right. Everyone talks about education. Oh my gosh, what about the education? Betsy DeVos was a huge thing. I heard everyone screaming about Betsy DeVos and school choice and vouchers and waivers and all this stuff. And then there's the preschools. Sitting here. Early childhood education. Just sitting here. Like nobody thinks of us. Honestly, it's like we're kind of like the redheaded stepchildren of the education process. Everyone talks about how the first 5 years of life are the most important and kids learn the most there. We see these kids more than their parents do. There was a kid at my daycare that was there at 6:45 in the morning. And it was 6:30 before she was picked up. That's nothing towards the parents. Sometimes stuff happens. Sometimes schedules are weird. Things happen. I get that. But that kid's going to go home, get dinner, get in the bath, hopefully, and go to bed. We raise these kids. We're the first teachers for so many of these kids because their parents are so busy. And some of them don't have an option. I get that. Some parents do not have a choice. Single moms out there, y'all have my respect. Because I don't know how you do it. I really don't. You're out there doing the best you can for your babies. But we're not babysitters. We're not here to just throw your kid at and wish us luck. We need help sometimes. We need input sometimes. If we see something that's not going right and we bring it up to you, don't dismiss us like we don't know what we're talking about. A lot of us have been doing this for a very long time and we have seen a lot of things. We have experience. We know what delays look like. We know what some behavior problems look like. We know it's not easy to admit that something may not be right with your kid. It's hard. Trust me, I know. Okay? I'm not going to go into that side of the story right now, but I know what it's like to find out that something's not quite right. It sucks. You feel like you did something wrong as a parent. But don't look at your kid's preschool teacher and just be like, oh, well, what do they know? They just change diapers for a living and wipe noses. Yeah, I've been told that too. That my whole career is just wiping butts and noses. No, dude, no, it's not. On a regular basis, I have to be so many different things to these kids. I have to be a referee and a therapist and a doctor sometimes. I've got to, make sure that this kid isn't going to hurt herself if she takes another seizure, while I'm over here making sure this kid doesn't hurt anyone else because he's throwing a fit because his home life is so screwed up he can't think straight or sleep, so he's beyond exhausted and stressed. That's right, guys. 3 and 4-year-olds, they got stress. It's ridiculous to think about, but they do. And they need people who are trained to deal with that. We're not babysitters. I could legally go across the border to Oklahoma and get a teaching job over there. I have an associate's degree. I don't even have an associate's degree in education. I have a CDA, which is a child development associate, by the way, in case you were wondering. But yeah, I have an associate's in the arts. Theater major, for real. And I could go get a teaching job right now in the public school system. I would probably have less bureaucracy, which would be lovely. I would probably have less interference in what I'm doing. I would probably have less rules, less of a lot of stuff. But I like what I do. And it bothers me when people don't see the importance of what I do. Don't demean it. Don't downplay it. Because what we do is critical for what happens in actual schools. Because if it wasn't for us, what are they going to do in kindergarten? We're teaching them the ABCs. I've got kids that can spell their name. They can find it in 4 different places. I've got kids that can tell you how to spell anything you ask them right now. Within reason. Onomatopoeia is completely ridiculous. Why would you even think that? We're giving these kids the building blocks, the basis for what will be their school career. We're not babysitters. We are so much more than that. We are literally the people who are making it possible for your kid to learn later. So if you've got a kid in preschool, I would love for you to go thank that person. I know Teacher Appreciation Week is in May, and I get that, and Christmas just passed. And I didn't say get them anything. I had a father, and this meant more to me than the flamingo socks and all that I got. He looked at me straight in the face. He goes, I don't know how you guys do it. You got kids running left and right, yelling, screaming. It's noisy. It's crazy. My room is crazy. I'm not even gonna pretend. My room is the first room. When you walk into that building, my room is the first one you hear. You hear it when you're in the parking lot sometimes. We are loud. We are crazy. We are not out of control though. That was last year. We got that under control quick. We let the kids be kids. We let them make messes. We let them be loud. These are so many times they go home, they can't do those things. We make the messes so they don't have to at home. Okay? Because we know mom doesn't want to clean that up when she gets home from work. I get that. Okay? This father looked at me and goes, we appreciate everything you guys are doing. We have seen such a change in him since he started. And we can't thank you enough because we know it's only going to keep getting better. Go out there. Go thank your preschool teacher. I'm not saying give him a hug. Starbucks card for $5 wouldn't be a bad idea. We live on Starbucks sometimes. We love donuts too. We're easy to please. I mean, usually stationery is a good one too. But not even that. Just tell us thank you. Tell us you appreciate what we're doing. Let us know that you see the hard work that we're doing. Because we're not babysitters. We are professionals. Some of us are moving on to bigger and better things. Some of us, this is what we do. Like I said, I've been doing this a very long time. My daughter had wonderful preschool teachers. My son has an amazing preschool teacher. These are people who are not, to me, just friends or coworkers. They're family. And I'm truly grateful for each and every one of them. I am blessed because I know some of them are watching this and some of them are listening to this. And that makes me so very happy. I'm truly grateful for that. That's all I've got for today, Trainwrecks. Like I said, go thank your preschool teacher. If this is your first time here, Trainwreck, welcome aboard. Glad to have you aboard. Go ahead and hit that little bell so you get to see this on a regular basis because I really want you to ring my bell. Ring my bell. Also, give me a like, comment, share. This is a safe space for all Trainwrecks. Except here, we don't give you a puppy and a latte. We give you sarcasm and humor. That's all I've got for today, Trainwreck. So, all aboard. Boop, boop.